Alright, so for this video, I waited till Sunday evening to do this video. Because the Indy 500 qualifying got rain delayed, so I had to wait through the delay to see the qualifying. And I wanted to see what would happen in qualifying first before doing this review. But yeah, NASCAR All-Star Weekend review. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, truck race. You know, it's another solid race. Of course, you know, a lot of 2 and 3 wide passes, especially on restarts. But of course, Kane Leach, Kyle Busch was in this race. Yeah, the racing was good when Kyle was in the lead. But once Kyle Busch took the lead, everybody gave up and just let Kyle pull away. And Kyle Busch won this race because anything that comes remotely close to good in this series, Kyle Busch has to go in and fucking win. Again. Here's one positive in this, folks. That was Kyle Busch's 5th and final truck start this year. So for the rest of the year, we don't have to deal with Kane Leach in this fucking series. Thank God. But, you know, Kane Leach, you know what this meant? Kyle Busch went 5 for 5 in all his truck starts this year. Oh, boy. I'm waiting for all the Busch sexuals to come over here and talk to me about how Kyle Busch is the king. Because guess what? That's also win number 205 in NASCAR. Let's be real, though. Kyle Busch's real number is still 53 Cup wins. Actually, 54 Cup wins now. I think it's 54, I'll have to double check. But, fuck, we're not going to hear the end of this from the Busch sexuals. Kyle Busch went, because they're going to be like, Kyle Busch went clean sweeping trucks. He the king. He the real king of NASCAR. Oh, fuck me. Kyle Busch, fam, the Busch sexuals are about to talk a shitload of shit about this. Oh, God. I don't want to know what's going to happen next. So let's just move on, you know. All-Star qualifying was pretty good. I will give Kyle Busch some defense here. Because during Kyle Busch's run, they got a bullshit tire outside the box. Which was bullshit. Because I was watching Kyle's pit stop. There was no way the tire was out of the box. Like, that is a dumb call there. And Kyle Busch still got front row regardless. So, yeah. It wasn't going to matter. Kyle Busch's pit crew was on point. Like, I knew Kyle Busch was going to end up starting up front in the All-Star race. Because that's for All-Star qualifying. They do the 4-tire pit stops. And Kyle Busch's pit crew has been the fastest pit crew in NASCAR the last couple years. So that was no shock to me. The open race, it was a really solid race. A lot of good side-by-side racing. Twice in the open, we had overtime at the end of stages. It was an interesting mixed bag in stage 1. In stage 1, we saw that 4 tires made you God. And then we saw in stage 2, clean air makes you God. Interesting mixed bag. Like stage 1, well, I'm about to quote Space Mo Ferrari 248 here, shout out to him. Because it turned out that Jimmy Johnson's pair of titanium balls must have got passed on to William Byron. Because, man, that was a great move by William Byron on that last lap to get the lead and win the stage in a photo finish. Like, he had a big pair of titanium balls to make that move. And being banged with Bubba Wallace to get that stage win. You know, nothing wrong with that, you know, just hard racing. Byron got the stage 1 win, so he moved on to the All-Star race. Because in the Open, there's still 4 spots left. 3 to the stage winners, and then 1 by fan vote. Stage 2, another solid stage, ended in overtime. Bubba Wallace was able to stay out and fend off Daniel Suarez on the last lap to win stage 2. That incident there with Bubba Wallace and Daniel Suarez spinning out with Suarez spinning out, I don't really view that much as a bump, you know. I think it was just mainly hard racing. Like, Bubba and Daniel Suarez were beating into each other, and Daniel just lost control of his car. I look at that more as just hard racing there. Nothing else to it. But yeah, we get to see Bubba Wallace in the All-Star race. How about that? Stage 3, Kyle Larson took lead. Kyle Larson pulled away. Larson wins stage 3, and he is classified the Open winner. So Larson transfers into the All-Star race. Alex Bowman gets in on fan vote. So all 4 Hendrick cars made the All-Star race. That's actually pretty good for Hendricks, considering how dog shit they've been this year. You know, have all 4 cars in the All-Star race is pretty good. All-Star race as a whole, it was pretty okay. Like, it wasn't a terrible race like we've seen a couple times, you know, where he couldn't pass for the lead. because clean air makes you God, and they had a new splitter on for the All-Star race. Like, let's try a new splitter. Here's a better idea, NASCAR. Instead of a new splitter, how about no splitter? How about that? Just take the fucking splitter off. How fucking hard is that to do? And in NASCAR's case, it's really hard to do. Since they haven't fucking grasped that concept yet. Also, get rid of Side Force 2 while you're at it. But anyway, continuing on to the race, not the point. Let's continue on to the race itself. You know, Stage 1 ended in overtime, and I'm not sure what the fuck Keselowski was thinking at Stage 1. It's like, what the fuck was Paul Wolfe thinking there? It's like, why would you leave Keselowski out while everybody else is getting 4 tires near the end of Stage 1? Like, at the end of the Stage 1, you're not going to win the race staying out at the end Stage 1. You're not going to win the race that way. Like, honestly, you should have came in when everybody took 4 tires. Because we did see in this race, in the end, 4 tires made you God. Because on that restart at the end of Stage 1, Keselowski plummeted like a rock, going from the lead all the way to 16th in 2 laps. Like, honestly, Keselowski, if you took 4 fresh tires, you would have finished higher in Stage 1 than you would have by then taking no tires. Like, that was a dumb move on Keselowski's part. Stage 2, you know, was pretty meh. It was just completely dominated by Harvick. Stage 3 was actually pretty interesting. Logano got Stage 3 win. And then Stage 4 was really an interesting race. It became a demolition derby, a lot of crashes. A lot of cars, some equipment heating up. And, Stage 4 to the end, Kyle Larson, who I think was on 4 fresh tires, he comes up, and he's able to win the All-Star race. So Larson, who won the Open to get in, wins the All-Star race. Great drive from Kyle Larson, well-deserved. So good news and bad news, Larson. Good news, you finally won a race again. Bad news, it's an exhibition race. That means nothing. Like, seriously, exhibition races still mean nothing. That will never change. Because, seriously, I asked the same question last week, I'll ask it again. What is on the line in the All-Star race? Other than money and pride. Take money and pride out of the equation. What is on the line? I'm waiting. Still waiting. Anyone gonna tell me? I'm still waiting. Well, if you have nothing to answer for it, guess what? That's the correct answer. Nothing. There was nothing on the line in this race other than money and pride. And NASCAR team's thinking, how do we make this races mean more? You wanna know the easiest way to make them mean more? It's simple. Put points on the line. Award points to top 10 finishers. It is not a hard fix. It is an easy solution. I mean, you do it for the dual races for Daytona, the qualifying races. You put points on the line for the top 10 in the dual races. What the fuck is the All-Star race's excuse? Hell, what the fuck is the Clash's excuse? That race should have points on the line too. Don't worry, folks. I'm going to go more into detail on this later this week because I'm going to do a video on how to make NASCAR exhibition races mean more. Because I'm not going to let up on this topic. Because exhibition races need to mean more. Because everyone's like, because when someone wrecks out and they do an interview, they'll be like, oh, well, it's an exhibition race, so it doesn't matter. And the race is only for money and pride, so it doesn't matter. Like, if the race doesn't matter, then why should I waste 2 hours of my time watching? Like wasting my time to watch a race that means nothing makes no goddamn sense. And the whole Ryan Newman, Clint Bowyer thing, I'm not sure why the fuck Newman got pissed. Newman said because Bowyer got into him. I didn't really 100% see what happened. I imagine, they just did some beating and banging, because there was a lot of beating and banging going on in the field, especially in Stage 4. If anything, I think what happened between Newman and Bowyer originally, I'm just gonna say that was just hard racing because Bowyer never really dumped Newman in any way. It was just mainly like bumping, which I have no problem with bumping as long as you don't wreck the son of a bitch. And then Newman dumped Clint Bowyer on the cooldown lap, and then Bowyer ran up to Newman and Bowyer beat the living shit out of him. Honestly, we need to send that clip to Bob Menery and have him commentate that. That would just make that fight more golden as if we get Bob Menery, the mock commentator. Or hell, get even Ozarati in on this and have him mock commentate. That would be just golden to have either Bob Menery or Ozarati commentate that. That would just be golden if we had that. Let's make it happen. Send it to him. Book it. So yeah, no, I think Newman is just crying over spilled milk. But you know, oh well, it is what it is. Odds are, probably expect some retaliation in the future. And Newman says Bowyer should be embarrassed of himself. Fucking irony, Newman. You should be embarrassed at yourself too. Remember Dover 2017? When you cost Chase Elliott the win? Remember that race? Remember? When he decided to be an ignorant fuck and not let Elliott pass you and let him go and let Elliott and Kyle Busch battle for the lead? No, you had to race them hard and you cost Chase the win. Because you let your pride get the better of you. Because you were racing nobody around you. You weren't going to gain a spot and you weren't going to lose a spot in that race. Honestly, you should have let Chase go and let him and take the lap down. But I guess, you know, since Newman was about to be eliminated in round one of Chase in Dover 2017, he decided to be a sore losing salty bitch. You know, that's one of the main reasons why I fucking can't stand Newman anymore. Can't wait for Ryan Newman to retire. I personally can't wait for when he finally retires. But you know, I'm just letting the past haunt you, Newman. Letting the past haunt you, because honestly, I didn't see Bowyer do anything wrong. Like, I think it was just hard racing in the end. Nothing to cry spill milk over. But yeah, overall, let's get to something small. Indy 5 qualifying earlier today. Simon Pagenaud wins the pole, so Penske got the pole today. Ed Jones and Spencer Pigot also got front row too, so how about that? So Pagenaud on the pole, fresh off the Indy Grand Prix win, how about that? And oh yeah, too bad Fernando Alonso didn't make the Indy 500, that's sad. I wanted Fernando to make the Indy 500 so bad. Too bad. One positive, Fernando. There's always next year. So yeah, in terms of racing, Truck Series won't be back for 3 weeks until they go to a standalone race in Texas. So hey, the truck race, well now will be Kyle Busch free the rest of the year. So we're going to have some good races with no Kyle Busch. How about that? Xfinity is back next week, but one problem. It's going to be full leeches at Charlotte next week. And it's probably going to be Kyle Busch winning, because it's Keen Leach. You know, Kyle Busch's 5 for 5 win shows why Cup drivers should not be in fucking Xfinity. Like, Kyle Busch is a Cup champion. He has no business being in trucks or Xfinity. Like, fuck, what? Kyle literally benefits nothing being in those series. He literally benefits nothing winning. And then you wonder why young drivers normally struggle getting sponsors or keeping them in Cup Series. You wonder why they struggle. Or even, not only to get them, but to keep them. Because the question Kamikaze asked in his review was, which driver would the sponsor rather sponsor? Someone that's going to run top 10, top 15, or go with the driver that's guaranteed to win in the best equipment possible? That's an obvious no-brainer. So yeah, we're going to have to deal with Xfinity races full of leeches. Wonderful. Hey, at least Sunday we're going to get all 3 series in one day. We're going to get Formula 1 Monaco Grand Prix, then the Indy 500, and then the Coke 600. So Monaco Grand Prix, it'll be the race with almost no passing. The Indy 500 is probably going to be the best race on Sunday with a shitload of passing. And the Cup race will probably have little to no passing also. I mean, the Cup race can't get any worse than last year's version of the Coke 600, right? But, yeah, that is what it is. So, yeah, that's what we got forward next week, Memorial Day weekend. We reached the triple header of auto racing, the greatest day in auto racing. Can't wait. But yeah, that is next week, so yeah, that's all I gotta say. Hope everyone's a great day, and yeah, peace out.